Era is coming. Bitmain is gonna close to CPU minus. Just kidding. Hit that like button.
What's going on, everyone? Here, and it is Sunday, time for our AMA, and it was a bit of a crazy day. I woke up this morning, I checked out the old Twitter account, and this is what we're talking about. An ASIC for Monero or RandomX, and we don't even know if this is an ASIC, so it'll be interesting to see once this thing actually emerges. Let's do a quick roll call, see what we got going on here. Scrolling up. All right, so we do have Andres 23007. What is happening? Budweiser. Golden. What's going on? I go home. For what reason there should be two cables for only 1350 watts? Interesting. And what is RISCs-V? So we'll kind of look at some of these things. I don't really know what it is, but I do have some stuff brought up to tell us. We got Alexander Fleener in the house. Jason Mining, what's going on? Sling Buzz, Alien Hawk Q, what's happening? Chirus, Duke Nukem in the house. Jockwick Miner UK, what's happening? Ninja Kid, Integra Guy 041, what's going on? Rustical, Lowbuck Mining, son of a rabid panda, what is happening? John Lemon, I love that. John, hey, I haven't seen you for a while, John Lemon. Where you been hiding? Man? What you been up to? Scrolling through, what do we got here? Jamie Davis, what's happening? Oh, it just jumped on me. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Dom G, Chadwick's Racing, Nemophorius 1.0, Tommy Coin, what's going on? JN Dater, what's happening? Why are we always getting after this is terrible? Yeah, crazy stuff. So, as we know, this is happening right now. So, we've seen this X5 online spot sale, yada yada. You're supposed to be guessing the price, and they give you some type of I guess if you guess it close, you get the thing. Now I went through my CPU mining calculator. If you saw the video already, 1 year profits on this. They usually base everything around the 1 year ROI. That's about $2,511 what this would make at current network conditions. So because they're not going to go 2511, so I guessed about 24.99. That's what Crypto Mikkel guessed as well. So that's what we're guessing the price could be. And if that's actually the price, and this is legit, no forks can happen if it's an actual ASIC or something, then this is a lot cheaper than building any CPU mining rigs for Monero. This is a lot cheaper than Epics, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So 212 kilohash, 1,350 watts. Now, a lot of people, why do they have two plugs here? Maybe this is probably just any random photo of the miner. Final product is set to be. They don't even have it on their website yet. It's just a Twitter thing. But we can go back to the two plugs. You do got to kind of, no offense to anyone out there, you got to idiot-proof things. And, I'm serious. People run kapow on freaking SATA, it's a thing, and they think it's okay. That's what we're talking about here. So you can get all sorts of C11 to C14 cables and stuff for your PDUs, and depending on the gauge, a lot of people just get the cheapest stuff. If you're getting 1820 gauge, you're not going to be able to run 1,350 watts through a single cable. So splitting this into two could just be dummy proofing it so people don't burn their houses down. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's part of their plan or not. Again, this is probably just some random picture, and it could come out with a single plug for all we know. I don't know, but I'm just saying kind of the aspects there. But anyway, it doesn't really matter about the plugs right now, but this thing is here. So here's the big question. Supports RISC-V here, and a lot of us like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Now, Retro Mike did put a comment under here, and here it says it supports RISC-V. I don't know if Retro Mike's in the chat yet. He'll probably show up later and fill us in on this operation because he is a smart guy. He knows what he's doing with these things. But it says it supports RISC-V. If it truly does, then it should be able to mine any CPU mineable coin that there is a RISC-V miner provided the hardware has the appropriate instruction set. And if I looked in here, I went to RISC-V here, and here we can kind of see, let's just kind of adjust this, and I'll bring this a little bigger. So here it says RISC-V, pronounced RISC-V, is an open standard instruction set architecture ISA based on established reduction instruction set computers. RISC principles. Unlike other ISA designs, RISC-V or RISC-V is provided under royalty-free open source licenses. A number of companies are offering or have announced RISC-V hardware. Open source operating systems with RISC-V supported are available, and the instruction set is supported in several popular software tool chains. So, you know, it's just like an instruction set that tells things what to do. Now, the other thing here is, you know, we're going through the chat here, and a lot of you guys are commenting like crazy because no one really knows what's going on. And, you know, okay, let's see here. RISC equals CPU, like Apple M2, Snapdragon processors, etc. Looks to be highly tuned CPU miner on steroids. And if we look at Snapdragon, that's exactly what we got going on. There might not be any ASIC chips. We're looking at an ASIC frame, ASIC case. Just like the E300, it looks like a little L3 Plus, an ASIC case. But all that is a shell to cool everything that's within it. So internally, the E300, for an example, is FPGAs in it. This thing could be a bunch of Snapdragon processors or something within it. You know, mobile CPUs and stuff are really, really efficient. So Snapdragon is a suite of system-on-chip SoCs, semiconductor products for mobile devices designed and marketed by Qualcomm Technologies. Its central processing unit, CPU, uses the ARM architecture, and a single SoC may include multiple CPU cores, and blah, 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 blah. You know, you go on from here. So the point is, this could just be a bunch of highly efficient tuned CPUs within this, and then it's just in an ASIC case with the fans to keep everything cool. So, you know, a lot of people have been doing their own CPU mining rigs inside server frames, 1U form factors, and so on. It's kind of the same thing, but in an ASIC frame with a bunch of mobile processors, which means if this, you know, turns out, obviously this thing is real. We can't see if this thing emerges and ends up being real. We can't see that because we know this thing is coming now. A fork, in theory, wouldn't fix it. So because this is already a bunch of CPUs within it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this emerges. Now, when you put this into efficiencies, let's just take a 3900X for an example. A 3900X, you can hash anywhere between 12 kilohash upwards to 15. Now, the higher you go, the less efficient it is. So we're just going to go an average of about 13,000 hashes, or 13 kilohash here. So 13 kilohash, that's about 109 watts. So if we actually divide 212 kilohash by 13, this is equivalent to about 16.3 3900X CPUs. Now, 13 of these times 109, that's about 1,417 watts. So that'll actually come out to be, this is more efficient and equivalent to about 16 3900X CPUs. Now, the price on that to build that, let's just say $500 per rig, 3900X. That's, times 3900, oops. $500 times, what did I say that was now? Let's go to 12 again, divided by 13. So we have 16 of these. So 16 times about 500. So that's about $8,000 to build, 16 3900X rigs. To equivalent this, it'll be about an extra 100 watts or so. So they're still pretty close together, but it's $8,000. So if Bitmain releases this at that set ROI of maybe only $2,500, this is a way better buy if you plan on mining RandomX. Now, again, this is for Monero, RandomX. Zeph is on RandomX. Yatacoin is on RandomX. There's a whole bunch of RandomX coins, so it's going to be interesting for that. Now, we don't know what else is going on within this miner. Like, how much L3 cache is this going to have? Obviously, it has at least 2 megabytes because it's able to do this on XMR. So that means if they do find some updated firmware, maybe they could swap to Ghostwriter, they will then be able to do that because it would have the memory to support 2 megabytes per thread. So this thing would, in theory, work perfectly because you need that 2 megabytes of L3 per thread to utilize the hash rate on RandomX. So Ghostwriter, same bit. So if there is an update here, we could see this working on Ghostwriter as well. But I don't know. Right now, it's 100% promoted for XMR, which is on RandomX. So we don't know a lot of the internal stuff here. We convert that to, like, say, Epic CPUs. The Epic CPU. Do I have my CPU mining calculator here? Nope. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Where's my... let's go CPU mining calculator. We'll just clone that, Google that. Here it is right here. Now, if we look at the epic right quick, we can see an epic is, the single epic is about 47.9. So 47, so if we go 212, divide that by 47.9, that is about 4.47742. So almost 4.5 epics is in this thing. Now that's 336 watts. So if we go, we'll go 4 times 336, that is 1344. So about the same amount of power. Again, an epic would use a little bit more power if you went to 4.4. So this thing is still more efficient, and again, probably cheaper, because this will work out to be about, I think it's around what? I think it's $1,100, $1,500 USD for an epic complete build rig. So this would still, you need 4 of those. So that's almost $4,500 for epic builds for this. So this would still come in 50% cheaper than getting epic CPU builds. So, you know, any way you look at this, if this thing can do exactly like they're saying it can, it's cheaper depending on the price that they put at this. So this is going to cause a lot of issues here. Now, another question came up is, we know XMR is loaded with botnets. And someone asked in the comments there of that video is, will we see the botnets disappear due to the hash rate spiking and increasing? And the answer to that is probably no. Why? Because the botnets are hijacking people's CPUs. They're not paying for power. They're not doing anything out there. They're just, people download some malware, it causes their CPU to mine, and the botnets, it's all going to their wallet. So it's free power. They don't care. So no, we are not going to see botnets disappear just because, you know, a hash rate spike happens, because they're not paying for power. They're on free power because they're stealing all your guys' power in order to mine that. So the botnets will remain. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy times for sure. They will get, yeah, they'll definitely get a lot less money. You know, they have botnets going for that, for Zeph. Now I'm wondering, Zeph price dropped, but the hash rate came off it quite a bit as well. So could a lot of that hash rate, you know, we saw nice hash was spiking. It was getting the rewards up there. A lot of hash rate is being rented, but maybe Zeph hash, some of this was testing with that too. It is on RandomX. So it's going to be crazy things for sure. Now, what other things do we have to look at? So I totally bypassed the other thing here, but here's the Vipera where we first initially saw this thing. We didn't know it was real, but it's looking like it is now, obviously. But it says successor to the previous X3 model of 2018. Now, we did look at that, and the 2018 model, the X3, is for Crypto Night. Now, this is what XMR used to use: 465 watts, 220 kilohash. It's no longer doing that, and it's negative $1.13. But here are the coins in currently mined: Dynasty Coin, Carbo, Bytecoin, Monero Original, and then we got Monero Classic. So I never even heard about those, but they are still on Crypto Night. But this is a totally different miner than this. Like we can see, it has less hash rate and it uses more power, and strictly says XMR, and we know XMR is on RandomX now. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Are you guys like, I don't know. We need a lot more information on this situation. Like, we don't know what their firmware provides, what's actually inside of this thing. Is it going to be able to mine other CPU mineable coins? Like, I mean, in terms of coins, I mean algorithms like Ghost Rider, Pufferfish, things like that. Like, are they going to have firmware to do this? Because in theory, basing on everything here, it could work on everything, but you know, maybe they won't release that firmware. They'll just release miners for these other things. But yeah, crazy stuff. So what do you guys talk about in chat? What do you guys think is happening here? Let's scroll up. RAB100, it is called Risk 5. Risk 5. Okay, Risk 5. Not, that was when we were talking to the talking about the, oh yeah, it says right up top here, Risk 5. That's when we were, oh yeah, Risk V, Risk 5, that's where, yeah, okay. So it's called Risk 5. Okay, scrolling through. Oh no, we are Jean, we are Rabid. Rabid has been taken over. Nice voice. Is that true? Monero have ASIC. So yeah, again, it's an ASIC shell, but I really don't think it's ASIC components within it. You can put anything in theory inside of an ASIC shell and call it an ASIC, but it's not an ASIC in it. It just looks like an ASIC. But I think there's a lot of other things going on in here in order to do it. And I don't think a fork is going to fix anything. But you know what? We're going to have to wait for all these devs to kind of say something and see kind of what happens here. It's going to be interesting. Alvadas Joke About It says, it is a killer ASIC. It killed all CPU coins. In theory. Damn, this is huge. It is worse than I thought. All CPU mining will be dead. And GPU mining also forever. Time to move on. Either you go ASIC or go proof of stake now. That is really bad choices, especially for small miners. Yeah, Ghost Rider will become very centralized. How bad is Joke About It? He's going crazy. He's going crazy over there. So yeah, you know, we're all just speculating 100% right now. All we know at this point is we can say it works for XMR. We can't say it's working for everything RandomX, even though they did say available for mining multiple cryptocurrencies. So I am assuming everything RandomX at this point, and it's going to come down to the price. So I'm debating, like, guys, what should I do here? I was up in the air. You know, I sold my Kaspa at 0.037, and I've been waiting for the dip, which it has done. I'm debating on buying in. Now, last night I was like, you know what? I might just get another Jazz miner and roll with that. But should I save my money maybe? And depending on the price of this, I might want one of these. I don't know. It's interesting, but you know, it's way too early, because then if forks happen, if something changes, obviously this would suck. But when it comes to the price, we don't know the price. But if it comes in at $2,500, it is going to be it's going to be cheaper than building CPU rigs, right? So yeah, interesting. So I don't really know. But then again, you don't have the versatility. Are we going to be able to put this on Coin? Are we going to be able to put this on Ghost Rider? Are we going to be able to use anything else, or only RandomX? Because if it is in fact only RandomX, I don't think it'd be worth it. I'd feel safer still building CPU rigs, not using this thing. But you know, there are a lot of people that are 100% XMR, and depending how they go about it, you know, they'll say, okay, enough, I'm not getting this because I'm about decentralization and blah, blah, blah. So I'll just continue building CPUs. Or they'll be like, oh, yeah, heck yeah, I want that thing. You know, I'm all in XMR. I mine it at a loss. I support it. I'm buying these. You know, there's people all over the place with different mentality of all this. So these are going to sell. Guaranteed, a lot of people are going to buy these. So we don't know. And let's kind of talk back about the XMR hash rate, because that was something too. Let's go Monero hash rate. We talked about this a while back where we had no idea what was even going on. But yeah, this chart right here. You guys remember when that happened? Let's go. How do we adjust this? We'll go. Yeah. So yeah. Let's just go back like 2021. Actually, we had higher hash rate back here. Interesting. We're at about 3 gigahash here, but for like the past 2 years or something, we've been hanging out. Whoa, 3. What is this? 2022. Okay, we're pretty high there actually. I thought for the past year or two we've been sitting around 2.5. Every time I check mining pool stats, it's always at like, you know, 2 to 2.5 gigahash. But it looks like we have hit some over 3 gigahash marks there. But you know, it's pretty consistent, going down. Then bam, out of nowhere, it just shot right up. And we were thinking botnets. Oh, botnets are on here. What's going on? Why is this? Zeph was pumping at the time. Why isn't all the hash rate on Zeph? You know, Zeph was pumping over 1 gigahash, and then all of a sudden, so is this, and then now we're down to, you know, little amounts here. So, you know, this could have been a testing period because it did just come out of nowhere. But we don't know. We have no idea. Bitmain was very sneaky on this end. We had zero evidence that this thing was coming other than Vipera there. And a lot of stuff Vipera posted, they were just like, yeah, whatever. But you know where I'm going with this. But now we have the official announcement. It's crazy. Have you noticed the RandomX hash rate drop since switching to HiveOS from Windows? I believe it may be something with bad recognition of cache in Linux. Do you know I'm not sure. I have heard people talking about that, but I haven't tested that really. So I might do that. I'll test that out sometime. I have a 3900X that's been being a pain, so I got to pull it off and up the voltages a little bit there. So I might do that. I might throw it in Windows and see what the hash rate is, and then throw it back in HiveOS and see if there's any type of difference or not. So that's definitely something I'll try to check out too if I remember when I do that. But I plan on doing that fairly soon. It sounds like another FOMO taking advantage of us all. Definitely will. Now, that's another thing. What if? Could we see an XMR pump? Maybe I should slap all my rigs on the XMR right now. You know, right now, you know, it's not very profitable. Let's see. Where's my calculator right now? If we go to a 3900X, load it up, calculate 11 cents per kilowatt hour. XMR is actually, it's profitable. It's making 10 cents. But, you know, will Bitmain cause a artificial XMR pump? Maybe I should do that and then sell when I see the price go up, because, you know, they've been known to do such things. Zeph is back in first place at 30 cents here for that. But yeah, interesting. Very interesting times ahead. And what? Let's adjust this right now to that miner and see what the updated are. So what do we got? 212 kilohash at, what was that, 1350. We'll look at 11 cent per kilowatt hour. Calculate. Oh, I need to reset all this because I don't want all those other coins in there. I don't want the other coins in there. Cancel, reset defaults. Let's just refresh it. There we go. Now I'm just going to go 212 kilohash, 1350 watts. Let's see what this thing does on the Random X coins with 11 cent per kilowatt hour. So $6.30 after power on Zeph right now. Now Zeph is way down in hash rate, so it's down to 734 mega hash. The price is down to 276. When this was at around $5, you know, over $3 anywhere, 350, this hash rate does shoot up to like 1.4 gigahash, which is about 50% of XMR hash rate, which is quite a bit. That's a lot thinking about it, especially for a newer coin. Zeph block rewards are also going to be dropping soon in the future when they start releasing their Zeph USD stablecoin and doing their other fork of Haven, I believe it is. They're forking Haven. They're making it sound like it's a new great thing they're doing. All they are is XMR fork, Haven fork, and they're kind of putting them together with the Haven wallet. So nothing fancy going on, even though some people think it looks cool and brand new and they're doing everything from scratch. They're not. Simple forks right across the board. Pretty lazy forks to be at that, because XMR is still within the code everywhere. You look in there and you try to build Zeph pool or something, everything says XMR in it still. It doesn't even say Zeph other than looking at your wallet. But this will go up to over, you know, a gigahash for sure. These profits will drop quite a bit pretty fast. It's only looking good right now because the hash rate came down quite a bit. So yeah, anyway, coming in there, Dagger up and down. This morning Dagger was actually twice as profitable as Zeph, and now that's already dropped down to nothing. So hash rate is bouncing constantly all over the place, and eventually it's just not going to be that profitable once those things actually go online. Again, we don't know what they're all going to mine either yet, so you know, we're speculating 100%, but we can guarantee it's XMR and probably everything Random X for now. What did I miss? Secure C, what's going on? Yeah, pretty much this is probably a bunch of mobile CPUs built within this thing. It has the L3 cache to utilize that much hash rate on XMR. So in theory, it should do good on Ghostwriter as well, depending on the firmware and the instruction set. So this is something, you know, I'm gonna have to talk to the RTM devs and see, you know, how, you know, if this is possible. Is there going to be capability for them to move firmware to do that or not? So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, crazy. Leave XMR alone. Every cryptocurrency. Bible Pay fork just in time. Bible Pay, is that the one where they were proxying over? That is, isn't it, Retro Mike? Is that the one where they're proxying the XMR? Let's see here. Bible Pay. BBP. Random X. What? This still says Random X. I thought they were disappearing. This is the one that was forking over. Oh, wait. Zero hash rate. It's not here anymore. Something's going on. Okay, something happened. So, yeah, this is the one. They forked? These guys are forked, right? What are they now? I don't know what they are. But, yeah, we were talking about you earlier, Retro Mike. We had your posting right here. See? Boom! Talking about the RISC-V factor, that it could possibly mine anything. And then we're talking about Snapdragon. If it's Snapdragon CPUs in this thing, would, you know, fill us in, Retro Mike. You're there. If this is full of, say, Snapdragon CPUs and stuff, a CPU fork wouldn't not really do anything. Could they just dropping firmware and mine pretty much anything CPU? Could they swap this over to Veriscoin? Could they make this work on Ghostwriter, because they're getting this hash rate on Monero, and you need 2 megabytes of L3 per thread to utilize full hash rate on Monero. So in theory, it has the specs to do Ghostwriter as well. So is the possibility there to mine all these things on that? Retro Mike, fill us in. RISC-V already works on Squirrel FPGAs. Okay, so Squirrel FPGAs are there. That's interesting. Easiest way is to just test in cheap Squirrel FPGA. I don't have any Squirrel FPGAs. Someone send me some FPGAs so I can play with stuff. I don't have the capabilities to do this or the knowledge because I'd never had one before. Yeah, craziness. Just got mining XMR. I'm emailing Gary Gensler. Bitmain has to be taken down. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, they moved to a new proof of rendering. Proof of rendering, really? That's interesting. Is that like a proof of useful work that they're doing now? That's cool. That's cool. I have to check it out. See, look into them. Is it so? Like, what do? Are you using GPUs with it now? That was neat though before because that was the pool. You know, you mine that and then they would proxy because they're on RandomX. They would proxy forward to I think it was Nanopool. So you would be mining, you would be merge mining Bible Pay as well as what's it called? XMR at the exact same time. No extra power, no hash rate losses. It was just like you were mining Litecoin and Dogecoin on the script miner. It was exactly how it was working, but they're proxying forward. So it's kind of cool doing that. And then if you added SRB miner into the mix, added in multi-work mode, and then mix that in with Epic, you were in theory triple mining at no extra power cost. So it was crazy stuff. But yeah, I guess they forked over now. Yeah, Bible plus XMR. Yeah, craziness. Risk should mine everything because it is made of a few small instructions that can be assembled into different software pipelines. So yes, it should be able everything as long as it has the cache. And it definitely has the cache because Monero needs that cache in order to utilize we don't know how many threads and all this stuff is happening in this thing. But when you look at a CPU, you need 2 megabytes of L3 per thread to fully utilize that in XMR and Ghostwriter and stuff. And because we're seeing the hash rates here of 212 kilohash, it has enough to mine a 212 kilohash. So on Ghostwriter, it should get, Ghostwriter is less on an average. So example, we got, like, I guess we can go to the CPU mining calculator here. Like, what would this thing do on Ghostwriter, for example? Let's just add in a 3900X for an example here. We got one. Load that up. So Ghostwriter's 3400 versus 12. So it's about, I guess, 4 times less. 4 times less hash rate in theory. Is that? Let's see if that follows suit with the Epic here. 47 and 12, 24. Yeah, 4 times. So Ghostwriter average, remember, with Ghostwriter, you have to base it on the average. So it's about, divide that by 4 pretty much. So 212 divided by 4. So in theory, this thing would be this thing would be about 53 kilohash on Ghostwriter. So, let's say this works. Let's reset this again and add Ghostwriter into the mix now. We're just going to cancel that, reset this. Now we're just going to go, refresh, done. So we're going to go 212 here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go 1350. And now here we're going to go freaking 53 kilohash here on the average because we're dividing that by 4 of what our RandomX hash rate is, which is what it looks to be following suit of the 3900X and the Epic. And as for power is actually a little bit less. I don't know, let's say 1100 watts. Now let's just see, what would the profitability on Ghostwriter be if it works. And we can see Raptorium, 79 cents a day. So not the best, but the possibility is there. It's 4,000 RTM a day. Just picture that. 4,187 RTM a day is what this thing's doing now. 41.87. If Raptorium hits, 1 cent at least again, that's $41 a day. If Raptorium hits 8 cents again, all-time high, that's $334 a day in theory. Based on it, again, hash rate's going to go up, probability is going to go down. But we don't know what this is going to do for sure. I was just guessing based on how the average worked out and dividing it by that 4 there. And it'll be a little more, a little less. We don't know if it can mine that, but yeah, speculation. Zeph, $5. Imagine Zeph at $5. You know what? Let's see. Let's do that right now. Let's picture. Where's my chart? We can add that in right now. Let's go to this. I haven't updated my CPU chart for quite some time, so let's kind of have a look at Zeph here. So if I go into Zeph, let's do some current network conditions here. Do I have mining pool stats here? So yeah, right here, Zeph. I'm gonna go into Zeph. We're gonna update our network conditions here. So 832 mega hash, 832. So we're now at 32. We're going to put this to $5. $5 Zeph. Obviously, the network's going to be a lot higher. Now for hash rate, we're going to go 112. Is that what it is? No, 112. What am I talking about? 212. 212,000 hashes. So this would be making, oh, that's the farm. $13 a day. So this would be $13 a day at the current network conditions if Zeph was at $5. Now the hash rate is going to pick up quite a bit. Usually we see about 1.5 gigahash will probably hit this. So that would actually drop it down to about $7 a day, 1.4 coins a day. So, if Zeph was at $5, we can easily see at least 1.5 gigahash here. So it would be about $7 a day on profitability. Now, if you were to base that on the ROI, because Bitmain, they do that. If they see something is a lot profitable on their machine, they will jump the price up in a heartbeat, and they'll make you pay the difference if you already paid. They don't care about that. They'll steal your money all they can. It's true. We know it. I'm not lying here. So let's just say $7 a day times 365. Actually, that's still only $2,555 in theory. Is that right? So that would still mean this miner is only $2,555. So that's still cheaper than building freaking CPU rigs. Now, if it gets the ability to mine all these coins, I don't know. I might have to save my money and buy one of these things. Oh, it's crazy. Will Monero fork to stop the ASICs? Amplifier gaming. So you can rewind this and kind of touch up on that. But if this thing has what a lot of people are guessing, which is possibly Snapdragon CPUs in it, it has this architecture supposedly, which is an instruction set that tells it what to do. And if all these coins support that, a fork won't do anything because it's pretty much just a bunch of efficient CPUs in it. So it's CPU mining inside this thing. So we've talked about this at the beginning here, but like a shell. All this is a shell. It's all it is a box that cools whatever's inside. And inside of this thing might be a bunch of CPUs. So it could be able to mine anything here, not just XMR and stuff. So, those are a lot of things we're still trying to figure out what the heck's going on. But a fork, in theory, won't do anything unless they fork to something that doesn't have all this other types of architecture, which would be really hard to find because then eventually, something will probably just release and they can fix that. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be crazy. It's definitely going to be some interesting, crazy stuff happening. Bitmain is the Apple of mining industry, always innovating. Yeah, like this blindsided a lot of people, especially me for one. But it makes sense if they just got a bunch of those CPUs in there. Yeah, okay, awesome. Now we have to wait for this to release. We have to see what things look like on it and decide, should we get one of these? Should we not get one of these? Do we keep building CPU rigs? Do we not? Are things going to try to fork, not fork? Is there going to be a new algorithm maybe invented to help prevent this? I don't know. So many things could happen moving forward. It'll be interesting. My Galaxy A71 Snapdragon 730 is an older mid-range phone, and on performance cores, it does 100 hashes while cache limited, not even warming up the phone. Oh, interesting. Alvarez, will you do Epic Coin video how to set up? I've been thinking about it. It's not the most profitability right now. It was really good a little while ago when all the hash rate dumped off. They had their halving, but now the price is kind of coming up and that. But yeah, I might do something on that. It's gonna take a while because everything is password oriented, and I'm gonna have to blur a lot of stuff out and stuff where you guys can hack into me. Epic Cash is definitely cool. It's seen decent price gain in the past bull runs. It's actually been dropping quite a bit since the halving, but I guess that's expected for a lot of halvings. But it is slowly coming back, so it's an interesting aspect there. It does allow dual mining capabilities, which is why I'm also kind of thinking of putting another prop port on maybe my Virus pool, because doing PPLNS on the merge mining aspect, you keep coming in and you're not really filling your share log to do that. So you're gonna have to kind of split that with prop pools. But then there's a lot of people that don't like prop pools because that allows for pool hoppers and all sorts of things. And I don't know, there's a lot of things that I gotta weigh in on this operation. But when it comes to mining the coin, I can do some type of how-to here soon, but it requires payouts. It's a lot different. I don't want too many people to mess up and lose all their coins mined because it's different. It's a totally different ball game. It's not an average. You need NROC servers to get your payouts. You don't just go to your normal wallet address, and when you're sending it, there's a whole bunch of different things going on. There's offline transactions depending on the pool you're using. You got to download a text file, put it into your wallet, and then get the results from it and upload that back to the pool to get your payout finalization. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Epic Cash that, you know, a lot of people might not like, but it is actually kind of cool. I'll buy one of those if it's sub 5K. So Retro, you think it's actually going to be above 5K? That's it. You know, I'm going with the $2,500 mark. I think it's $2,500 if we're going on the XMR 1 year ROI aspect. So that means you're probably going to be getting two of them. But yeah, I'm really up in the air right now because I did sell my Kaspa to buy the dip, and now I'm just like, you know, I was going to get a Jazz miner, but now seeing this thing, I might wait for it to release and see if there's any aspects, or maybe I'll get one to test or something. But if it's doing everything and it doesn't sound like anything will fork or anything will change or something, I might buy one of these. I think I'm actually really considering buying one of these because it would be cheaper than building a bunch of CPU rigs. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. Very interesting for sure. Not simple and short. yeah, it's not simple and short. No, it's going to take some little bit there to do that one. Never been scammed, but they will take your money. Mine with your ASICs. Well, the probability is higher and send you a used one when they get the cost of making it back. Very true. Very, very true. So we're going to have to pay attention now, like, because that's shipping very soon, actually. What do they say here? Nope, not that. Not that. So they say, guess the price from till the end of the month. September 2nd is they're going to, I guess, reveal the price. On the 4th, sales start. And they're going to start shipping on the 10th already. So, like, it's interesting. There's no delay happening here. They're ready to go September 10th. So that's right around the corner. They're going to be taking orders and then shipping like the following week. So it's going to be pretty quick. So there must have been done testing, or expect these to go online any day now. Any day we'll probably start seeing hash rates coming up again on that testing process. Maybe between the 4th to the 10th in here. Possibly, maybe when they announce the price, maybe they're still trying to figure out what to price it in at, because they don't even know themselves. Maybe they don't know. They're going to do the testing here and see what the profits look like before they decide what to throw the price at. So, yeah. Or, you know, this is another tricky thing from Bitmain. What if they just put it there? They have an estimate they want to sell this at already, obviously. But now they're just seeing, what are people guessing? What are people guessing? We got hobbyists here at $5,800. DJ Mine's at $22,000. 78. We got Retro Mike here at $3,000. See, that's pretty close there. 35. So they might be playing the weighing field. Like, what are most people guessing? Like, they might only want to sell it at $2,500. But if they can squeeze out maybe $4,000 from somebody, because a lot of the guesses go to that point, they have no issue stealing your money. They'll drop it at $4,000 when they originally planned 25 or something. So, you know, that's probably another reason why they do this. You know, what are people guessing? What are people expecting us to price this at so that we know what we can steal from them? You know, am I wrong or what? Am I wrong? What do you guys think? That's probably exactly what's going on with these dumb price guesses. If you get rich in crypto and move to an expensive resort, then you might see an Ice River ex-employee. Wait, there's an Udweiser. Udweiser? What? There's an Udweiser? It has to be cheaper than building an Epic rig, or it's not worth it. Very true. And $2,500 is about that price range where it makes sense, right? It is around that $2,500 range. If it hits $3,000, I would probably rather build an Epic or a dual Epic around that. So I think it's going to have to be less than 3,000. I think a dual Epic, what was my eBay contact there? I think a dual Epic is around 3,100. That would be about 98 kilohash. No, actually, that would put it around 6,000. So you need two of those to equal that. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know. I don't know what this pricing is going to be, actually. You know, it might be around $4,000, because then, you know, the $5,500, $6,000 range would be two epics. So, yeah, it could be up there, actually. It could definitely be up there. Yeah, Retro Mike nailed it. First batch, 35K. Second batch, 2K. That's exactly what's probably going to happen. It's going to be $35K first batch and then $2,000 on this future batch. Oh, man. Just like Kaspa, we will see Monero dump. You know, Monero's, it's been holding steady for years. We're not going to see a dump. We don't have legit. Bitmain needs to have a crap ton of coins to dump, and I don't think they do. They're focused on other things. This just came out of nowhere. So I don't think we're going to see a collapse of XMR. Now, what we could see is an initial pump when we get closer to release date from Bitmain. That could very well happen, and then it'll fall back to these levels again. But you know, I can't see XMR actually doing a full-fledged dump. Boom, gone. Unless Bitmain has been hot, unless they have been planning this for like 2 years and they've been stacking up for 2 years, getting ready to dump. That could be a thing, but I doubt it. I could care less because I ain't buying any. Very true. It's not as bad as you think, as you guys think. Yeah, it might not be that bad for real. We don't know. We just really don't know, and how many people are going to buy it. XMR does have quite a bit of hash rate. I feel it's going to come down to the price. That's the bottom line. How much is it going to cost? If it is around $2,500, I can see it be worth mining. But if this thing does release at like, you know, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 or something. Unless, you know, the people that have stupid amounts of money, yeah, they're going to buy this. But most miners, I don't think they're going to be buying this and, you know, decking out massive farms with this thing. So it's going to be interesting. We have to, all we can really do is sit back, wait results, see what happens after release. And, well, and when they actually reveal the price here. But who knows? Who knows? What do we got here? How many rigs you got on Lambi Crypto? Lambi? New coin on script. Oh, I think I seen that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything on it. I don't have. All I got is my mini Doge miner now. Oh, that's the wrong thing. No wonder I can't see. Lambi. Let's look at new coins. Lambi Crypto. What do we got here? 373 gigahash. That actually went up quite a bit. Wasn't it only like a gigahash not too long ago? Oh, maybe not. It's been in the high gigahashes for a while. Okay. Bam, spiked, and down to nothing. $993 a day. That's actually not too bad. Huh. All right, so do you guys have any questions or anything? I love XMR more than Bitcoin. A lot of people do. XMR has a major community. It has a major backing by people. So, yeah. Blasphemy. It's not as bad as you think. I could care less. Ain't buying. Just like Kaspa. Okay, scrolling through. Hit that like button, guys. We got 95 viewers, 29 likes. What is going on? Hit that like button. Do it. Speaking of that, I have been talking to some vendors. Now I know this is on Kaspa stuff now, but it has been, you know, they get various things in. But if we go, we do know Ice River recently released their new price list here. Ice River. Let's kind of have a look here. Ice River's latest pricing. So what is it now? $5.99 for a KS0. We got $555.99, so 56. 10.6. 18 for the KSM. So I've been getting a hold of a supplier in China, and they've actually been giving some decent prices. So this is last week, and this is the most recent one as of a couple days ago. So in stock, we got some here. Well, $5.95. That's only $5 cheaper there. But this is with a power supply. Keep in mind the KS0 here is with a power supply. It's looking about $5.95. We got the KS3L, which is now the M, but they still got those at $16.5. The KS3M, $17. So what is this? So that's actually cheaper. That's not till 9 to 1. Now, I heard that Ice River is supposed to be stopping making their Ice Rivers, which I don't understand, because if they're selling miners, why would you stop? But at the same time, they also are starting to focus on other coins. Maybe XMR is one of them, just like Bitmain. I have no idea. But here we got some price range, and this is stated for actually September 1st to 10th. So that's interesting. Now, this is saying 1st to 10th. It probably won't ship till December 1st to 10th for all we know. We got KS3s here at 25.8, which is, what do we got? 25.8. That's like almost $5,000 cheaper, and they're sold out here than Ice River. So definitely a lot cheaper prices we're getting from these direct China suppliers here. So that's interesting. But if you are looking for anything, not even that, like if an L7, if you guys want an L7 or anything, you know, just send me a DM and I'll try to get a price list together, because I have been in contact now with some of these guys and comparing versus a lot of the third parties here. We can definitely get a lot cheaper prices. This one won't be nimble at all. Started my XMR in 2015 and haven't stopped. I remember when I first got my first couple CPU rigs, what, 4 or 5 years ago? But a couple of rigs I remember was getting like 0.1 XMR a day. I was like, awesome. It wasn't worth that much at the time. And then it went up to like $500. It was sweet. Now, like, I don't even know, 25, 30 rigs, it takes you to get like 0.1 XMR. It's crazy. It's crazy how much, hash rate, network difficulties, and as it climbs, the yields get so much smaller. I still got high hopes for GPRX and Zeph, even though they are just forks. No, Zeph is interesting. They're definitely good at their marketing and what they want to do, but it is pretty much a straight out fork. They're not doing anything different. Now they are trying to do that Zeph USD, and I don't know if you guys caught my past live streams when I kind of talked about that, but like, you're reading it and you're like, okay, this is cool. They're trying to make their own USD. They showed the display of their new wallet, and then I was like, you know what? This sounds exactly like Haven. Then I was looking back, Haven is like the privacy coin, stable coin for like XMR type of thing, and then XMR is obviously, we all know that, Random X. Now Zeph forked Random X, and they said they're doing all these new things, built it from scratch or whatever. They didn't. It's a straight fork right across the board. And they didn't even hide it. Everything still says Monero or XMR in its GitHub all over the place. And then they coming out with this new Zeph USD, and it's the next level thing. It's going to combine with that. And when I was reading, I was like, this sounds a lot like Haven. Then they showed their wallet, their new wallet. And everyone's like, this wallet looks cool. Wow, awesome work on the wallet. This wallet looks fantastic. And I looked at it. It's an exact screenshot of Haven, but says Zeph or something on it. So now it's a straight fork of Haven being added into the mix, which we already have that whole ecosystem built together between Haven and XMR, but now they're just trying to do it on Zeph, saying it's a new thing, but it's straight fork across the board. So a lot of people that don't see that are kind of being tricked here. But again, it doesn't matter, because end of the day, Zeph is one of the most profitable Random X coins out there. But it is going to drop in profitability. It definitely, the price is going to have come up, because the block reward on Zeph is actually going to drop 25% and go to, it's going to go, I can't remember what they call it, some foundation or something to do with this Zeph USD thing or something. But yeah, but that is going to drop that profitability quite a bit. So you're going to need at least a 25% price gain above all the previous all-time highs at the same hash rates in order to remain the same type of profitability, because that block reward will be dropping fairly soon. Does RTM coin have a future? I think so. I think for sure a lot of people have been saying bad stuff about it, because obviously the price depreciation, but they are actively building their coin quite a bit. Their whole ecosystem, they're doing a lot of things there. They got chain locks happening. The assets are coming soon. Smart contracts, all that stuff will be happening within Raptorium fairly soon. It's interesting how they're doing the platform as well. You cannot 51% attack it due to chain locks on top of the smart nodes on the side. So once these updates start implementing, obviously it comes down to the investors buying the coin and everything. But I think we're going to see some price discovery for sure. And, it's not about fast and speed. They're taking their time. They're doing things right. And eventually, I think, hopefully they get it all in by the next bull run, and we'll see some nice price gain. But, we have to wait and see what happens. But a lot of things are coming into that. Like, I think within the wallet, you can also do like futures trading and locking. I don't know. They're doing a lot of crazy stuff on there that a lot of traders are going to love. They're doing, and obviously the assets, NFTs, and smart chain, all the asset stuff and smart contracts and stuff. It's going to be validated POS side technically with the nodes, and everyone has nodes. That means the nodes will be validating and getting transaction fees through all the contract stuff, which will bring up node earnings as well. And then the Raptorium side with the coin side and transaction stuff, that's all still going to be validated on its own on the CPU mining side of things. So they're doing two ecosystems mixed in one, and they're going to be adding all these updates in fairly soon. And I don't know, it's going to be pretty cool eventually, but we'll see what happens when it all starts coming out finally. But yeah. I've been an RTM miner for 2 years already. 2 years going hard. Zeph is a S coin to dump convert to XMR. There you go. Everyone has a different take on anything, but you know, it's just like everything else. You know, mine what's most profitable and then swap it into whatever coin you feel is gonna hodl or whatever. Sell it for whatever you want, or wait for the next bull run. You know, same with you know, the AI. You know, nothing on GPUs right now is really that profitable or worth mining in theory. So why not slap it on AI, get paid, you know, a couple bucks a day instead of a couple cents a day, and then just buy some crypto. You know, you go where the money is and then just swap it to whatever you think is gonna, you know, have a nice play for the future. Just because you think Flux is the best coin doesn't mean you mine it, because you'll lose money. Mine something else, swap it into that Flux, and then you'll get your gain in the bull run or something. Do it that way. It doesn't mean you have to mine that coin just because you believe in that coin. Well, some people do that, bro, but you know, go where the money is. Get the most you can for your hardware. You know, if you apply to 3 different jobs for the same thing, you know, one paying you $5 an hour, one's paying you 10 cents an hour, and one's paying you $100 an hour. Obviously, you're going to want to go to the one that pays $100 an hour. Are you not? Are you going to go to the one that pays you 5 cents an hour? Well, that's what you're doing if you go to most of these GPU coins right now. Is you're picking the lowest paid coin and hoping you get a promotion in the future. Go to where the money is and then just swap into that coin. If that kind of makes sense for you guys. All right. What do we got here? Max voltage, great analogy. Mine was most profitable. Yeah, well, you don't want to beat the crap out of your hardware for free, do you? I know I don't. Go where the money is. That's all I care about. It's all about profitability, nothing else. Then talk to the traders to see what's going to pump. And they don't know either. They just say they know. Because we're going to see $500,000 Bitcoin here coming out of the moon. We're going to see $2 billion Bitcoin price predictions in the next 3 months. Yeah, they don't know what's going on either. Go with your heart, guys. Go with your gut. Go with your feeling. I do think Flux will be good. Long term, it's going to get some gains. But it just doesn't make sense to mine it right now because you're losing in mining it. That's my only take on Flux. You know, a lot of people think I hate Flux. I don't hate Flux. I hate mining Flux because it's not profitable. It's probably going to get, you know, $5, $6, $7 Flux next bull run would be awesome, which is an awesome price point to get it now. But if you're making $5, $6 on something like Vast, or I think Octa.Space even has a rental hardware thing now as well going on, all these other platforms are paying a lot more. So you're going to get a lot more if you just sell that, buy your Flux, and then wait for the bull run. It's a simple process. It doesn't mean you have to mine that coin, though. Mine the profit. All my miners are off right now. The AI mining has my interest. Yeah, I haven't really tried it or anything yet. I want to sometime soon, but I don't know yet. But we'll see. We'll look into it. I'm kind of close to power limited. I could probably run my 3080 or something like that because I have my 3090 in my gaming PC. But I might try a 3080 or something on there. You know, run it off 120 volt, see how it works type of operation. But you know, do a little bit of testing. Mine the profitable coin and buy what you believe. Easy. There you go. Exactly. That's the concept. That's all you need to know. Go where the profit is and then just swap it to whatever you want to hold. Whatever you think is going to pump in your mind, go with that. Thanks for bringing actual credibility to the chat. The max voltage. Thanks for bringing credibility to the chat. Radiant Ironfish have potential. Oh, Hawk's in the house also. What's going on, Hawk? JB 2025 says Radiant Ironfish have potential. Ironfish is an interesting one. Have you guys heard about obviously probably you guys, a lot of you have. They're forking. We don't know what yet. They have different ideas of what they want to use for an algorithm. Now, Ironfish is an interesting one. If you remember way back when they use Blake 2B right now, and they originally had no idea that a lithium used the same algorithm, and then they changed the byte range in or something to make the hash rates a little higher, so it's slightly different. But it was interesting that, you know, they went through testnet and then the mainnet to finally realize, oh, there's another coin that uses algorithm. Oh, we didn't know. Yeah, as if they didn't know. Like, seriously, who doesn't know this thing? Especially coming in with so many connections that they allegedly have. Anyway, so now they're thinking of a new fork. They don't know what to use yet, but they want to get off the FPGAs because there's so much hash rate from unknown and they don't know where it is. So let's just kind of go to Ironfish. It's kind of funny, actually, if you think about it. privacy oriented coin, but they don't know where all this hash rate's coming from, so they want to fork. We don't know we don't know who these people are, so we got to fork it, guys. We just don't know. Your privacy, come on, you're not supposed to know. Anyway, there's 1.6 petahash here. We see it's only 838 unknown. I think it used to be around 50 or 60% unknown, but it's regardless. There's a lot here, and it's FPGAs supposedly, and it's going on there. So they have two options up in their Discord right now, and option one is Ergo's Auto Clocks's version 2 or whatever. They say they might go to the Ergo. It's efficient, a lot of GPUs. There's some FPGAs on it, but supposedly the FPGAs aren't far superior over the current GPUs. Now, I have got some background numbers on some crazy GPU numbers are way better than GPUs, but I don't know which ones they are. I don't know if there's any truth to that either, but just background rumors. So might be some that are really good, but most of them seem like they're not super advanced over a GPU, which, makes sense, I guess, on their aspect. The other one is to go ETH hash, but with EIP. I gotta find it. Hold on. I can't remember where it is. Let me find it. Where's my Discord with the chat here? Right here. Actually, I'll just bring this up right here. So, yeah, here it is with EIP 3372. So, I'll bring up the EIP right here. So, they might go ETH hash with EIP 3372. And what that is, that's when, do you guys remember when Ethereum was talking about, how many ASICs are online? We got to do this, get rid of the ASICs. And then it came down to the point where they're like, okay, well, there's not that many ASICs online anyway. It's mostly GPU, so it won't do anything. I think that was this EIP here, where they apply minor modifications to the ETH hash algorithm to break current ASIC implementations, which means your Jazz miners and all that stuff. So, and it's going to remain GPU. So it sounds like they're going to either between the Ergo, or they're going to go to this modified ETH hash version to remove the ASIC. So that's what it's kind of sounding like right now, based on the latest info I've heard. So I don't know 100% how they're going to do it. Have you guys heard about that? You guys been following that at all? But that seems to be that. And I don't know if they're going to go to a community vote anytime soon, or if they're still looking at other options. I really doubt they're going to invent their own algo for this. I don't even know if they have the capability to do so. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so that's coming in like that. So Blake 3, a general question: do you think miners can set overall price of a coin? That's a tough one. No, not usually, because price of a coin comes down to the investors. The investors decide, is this coin, do I want this coin or not? So whoever buys it, buys it. Miners, a lot of them hodl, a lot of them wait, a lot of them sell. Miners, in theory, is more of a sell pressure over buying pressure. You check the daily emissions. If you have more buying pressure than the mining emissions per day, in theory, the price would go up because you have more buyers over the sell pressure. Now, not all miners sell, but a lot of them do sell and swap it. Or, you got miners using Zerg Pool. You got miners using something like Monero Ocean or NiceHash that. Count that out. NiceHash doesn't count here. That's a totally different scenario on a hash rate rental service. So no, we're not counting NiceHash here. Let's go to what is there? The Zerg pool, all those profit switching pools, unminable, all that stuff. So when you're doing that, let's say you're mining this coin, getting paid out in this coin, you're already 100% sell pressure right there. So if you're on that pool doing that, you're already manipulating the price by selling 100% of your earnings to get paid out on another coin. So miners are sell pressure. They can determine maybe a possible price dump. Look at a lot of the really fast CPU or Ghost Rider coins. They drop out here. The block reward is really high, and then all of a sudden the nodes or something come online. People get in a buying frenzy, but that's when the miners decide to turn around and sell their coins because the price pumps, right? And that causes the sell pressure, and then everything just dumps. So miners mostly cause sell pressure, not buy pressure. It comes into their investors determining if they want the coin to buy it for long-term use, and price going up for that. So miners could dictate, they can't really dictate the price, but they can dictate if you want to dump the price in theory, unless a buyer buys more than all the miners combined. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. I can't really answer that one, but miners are more sell pressure than buy pressure. You could write mystery novels. I highly recommend it. ESP Monday and Thursday general chat trivia is insane and fun. What is that, JP? What are you guys talking about, JP? JP stuff. The X5 is high risk investment. If Monero goes to, for whatever reason, you won't be able to sell the ASIC, but there will always be demands for CPUs and motherboards. So AE Camel, I haven't saw you earlier, but we mentioned a lot of this, and it's looking like it doesn't matter what XMR does. In theory, this is a bunch of possible Snapdragon chips or something within this. It's not an ASIC particularly. It's a bunch of little efficient CPU chips in it. So if XMR dies, that's okay, because it could, and XMR won't die. It has a massive community. But I'm just saying, you know, guesstimations here, you could go to Zeph, and in theory you could fully utilize this on something like Ghost Rider, but it'll come down to firmware and all sorts of other things. The architecture and everything is there, so a simple fork will not fix it as well unless they totally revamp everything, and then you're gonna need new CPU miners emerging and so on. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, if something happened to XMR, you know, this thing does have other options by speculation of what may actually be inside of this thing. Just because the shell looks like an ASIC, the internal organs and hardware inside of it is not ASIC. It is highly efficient CPU chips that can mine these other coins, possibly Verus coin, possibly Ghost Rider coins, possibly everything, depending how Bitmain decides to distribute firmwares. Makes sense. I'm just trying to find the hidden connection of price dump and everything, as BTC as usual, more unstable at the moment. According to SMC and stuff, BTC will go lower. So as all other coins as well. No, that's very true. You know, if Bitcoin goes down, the market goes down, altcoins usually go down even more. You know, the money pulls out of it and then the money goes back. But end of the day, follow the cycles. 2025, everything's going to be exploding to the moon. You know, it's going to be different. Altcoins follow. Some altcoins happen. You know, we'll see some of the altcoins, in theory, possibly hit their all-time highs next year in 2024. That has happened in past runs where a year before the Bitcoin all-time high, some of the altcoins pop. And also after Bitcoin hits the all-time high, which is around November of 2025 is when we're guessing it'll happen. Some altcoins like Flux, for example, last bull run, it hit its all-time high in January, 2 months after Bitcoin did that. It doesn't mean Flux is going to set it in January in 2026. It could happen a month before. We don't know how alts fluctuate. They're all over the place all the time, but the cycles will still play out. And sometime towards the end of next year, we're going to start hitting that bull run again. In theory, BlackRock, they're getting their chess pieces in order. They're probably like the 4th or 5th largest holder of Bitcoin now, I think, by wallets. I seen that this morning. But yeah, all the chips everything's getting kind of orientated here, and we're going to start seeing some bull runs sometime towards the end of next year and all-time highs in 2 years. Conspiracy theory: Ironfish goes to Random X, told Bitmain first, hence the ASICs through theoretically a CPU ASIC. I'm gonna write a book. No, they didn't say CPU. They did specifically said they wanted to maintain GPU. So that'd be very interesting if they did go to Random X. That would be hilarious and definitely some crazy stuff happening. But they do say they want GPU only, so it's gonna be interesting how they do that. For sure. What do we got here? Highly recommend the ESP. Okay, scrolling through. Budweiser, just with fam. Radiant has room to grow. Radiant has a lot of time. Ironfish is a scam. Hawk says Ironfish is a scam. Radiant has room to grow. Radiant has a lot of room to grow for sure. How do you guys feel about Radiant FPGAs? What do you guys think about that? You guys have any thoughts on that? We do a lot of FPGAs can mine RxD right now. You know, I think the C11, the main bit streams now are public. It's just that the E300s aren't really ready to go yet, based on their VU33P architecture. I believe that's the big ones they're using. They're not ready yet. They're still tweaking them, but that's going to be releasing very soon. It's about a month late now, delays, but it's happening. But I'm curious. You know, Ice River is working on new coins. I don't know how the algorithm of Radiant works, But imagine, what if we start seeing, you know, in another month or two, what if we start seeing RX zeros from Ice River, RX ones, RX twos? Could that be a thing? I don't know. I'm not sure how the algorithm works. I don't know how that byte nonce and all that stuff is in there. Is Retro Mike still here? Is it a possibility? Is it possible that that something like this could be made based on that algorithm? Oh, Retro Mike's right there. Radiant has a lot of room to fall after the initial FPGA pump. There's that too. Yeah, that's a very another thing too. But yeah, I don't know. How's that algorithm work, Retro? Is it do you think it's a possibility? Retro's our go-to tech guy when it comes to these algorithm stuff, because he knows how this programming stuff works. So he will tell us if ASICs are possible on this algo or not. I was also talking. Hey, where's the E300 chat actually? Where's my Discord? Because I was asking about some things here. E300, where are you? Osprey. I'm just gonna. So, like, I was asking about things. Where is it? I was asking about Ergo on the E300, and here's some things they brought up. Probably not anytime soon. Osprey has their in-house bit developers working on. So they are working on Ergo for the E300. So which would be interesting for Ironfish. Again, we just kind of talked about that earlier. If they go the Ergo route with their Auto Class V2 or whatever it's called. But RxD is going to get slammed hard with FPGA-wise upon release. Might make if IF more profitable, Ironfish more profitable. Some hash shifts off that, but Ironfish will also have the algo change. There isn't some algos profitable by the time that happens. We're all effed. What else they got going on here? I think I asked. Okay, there's that one. There's another one here. I asked about Nexa, and they were mentioning something about it where it would take a whole bunch of stuff. Retro Mike would know what they're talking about because I didn't. Where is it? They're talking about Nexa would utilize the HBM memory, but you'd also need something else coming out of the core, almost like a dual miner talking to two different ways the chips work or something. I don't know, something crazy there for Nexa, but I don't know how. Yeah, that's what FPGA plus GPU. Yeah, they require a combo something going on their operation. I don't know. Retro Bike, ASICs are possible if there's enough demand and price discovery. RxD has very negative views by many, and I wouldn't expect an ASIC anytime soon. Hey, that's interesting. It has a lot of So there's a lot of community out there I don't know about that's been negatively talking about RxD by the sounds of things. So everything I've heard, everyone loves RxD and they can't wait. But it's funny. I did a crypto evolution. I don't know if you guys saw that Twitter post a while back, a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, but it's hilarious. So like, not all of them follow. Some just release, on SHA-256, so it's Bitcoin off the get-go. But you get stuff like Kaspa or whatever emerge, and this is kind of how the timeline goes. So it starts to say a CPU, right? Everyone's like, hey, yeah, nice spec mining, good to go. This might be decent. It might be awesome one day. We'll see what happens. The white paper looks decent. Then it goes to GPU. Then GPU miners get on board. It's like, oh yeah, to the moon. This coin rocks. Awesome, profitability for life. Blah blah. Got rocket ships everywhere. Then it goes to FPGAs. He goes, well, they're not that much better, but they're still quite a bit better. It's still okay. We're okay, guys. Then the ASICs come in, and then all the miners say, oh, this is crap. Worst coin ever. This thing's totally going to dump. It's the trashiest coin I've ever seen. So, I didn't use those exact words, but it's hilarious how it works. As soon as something hits a GPU and is profitable, it's like everyone praises the crap out of it. But then it hits ASIC stage, and everyone says it's the worst coin ever. Do you guys notice that? I find it funny. I think that's funny. You need to make a comic of this. Someone who's a good artist, make a comic, because it's 100% true and hilarious at the same time. Oh, man. Miners like RxD because of low power and high block rate. Investors that have analyzed the white paper don't like it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't really follow white papers. I just go to where the profit is, and cheap power helps profit higher. So that makes a lot of sense, though. Investors don't like it. Miners like it. That's usually how a lot of these things work. I hope they do good, but I'm avoiding it. All right, that's awesome. ASICs are possible, so yeah, there's that. Nexa would require, okay, yeah, Nexa is FPGA GPU. So there we go. Retro Mike has spoken. Investor-wise, our Radiant doesn't look too good. So that means, maybe there's not going to be a pump coming for it. There's You know, that's very interesting side background there. Now, as a miner standpoint, a lot of us know as miners, you know, miners like, yeah, Radiant, awesome. But it does look like there's a totally another story in the background there that, you know, you got to keep on the back burner saying, you know, this might actually not be worth it. But who knows? We don't know, guys. We don't know. Yes, formulate your own opinion, guys. Get all the information you can from everywhere and go with that. We've seen pumps. We've seen dumps. We've seen pumps. We've seen dumps. Who knows? A bull run is hit. Actually, let's go to RXD. What is... Let's take a look here. Radiant price. Oops. Enemy list. What? No, I don't want that. What's going on here? Coin market cap. Like, let's just have a look at price. Like, when did it release? Oh, so yeah. Like, I knew it was new, but yeah, it's like this year. Or last year. So crazy. So it hasn't seen a bull run yet. So that's interesting. 009 in 2023 this year. So, you know, there's definitely room to gain a bunch of profits in the bull run for sure. Don't let anything we just mentioned persuade you otherwise. But, you know, there is still that thing there. It might not go 1,000x, but, you know, it might go 20x. You know, there's a possibility there for sure. Hasn't seen a bull run yet. Sky's the limit. We don't know. Do your own research. I'm not a trader. I'm not a blockchain person. I just mine whatever's profitable at the current time. Right now, it's not that either. But don't FOMO from what other people say. Yeah, there you go. Great thing. Do your own research. Study your own coins. Go with your own gut feelings. Go from there. You know, everything has a chance to go up. Everything has a chance to go down. We don't know what coins are going to be the best gainers into the next run. There's so many new coins out now that weren't here previously when we were all mining Ethereum. And, you know, that was a big topic. You know, what if the next best coin isn't even here? And, you know, back then, you know, all we had was pretty much Raven coin. We had Flux going on, Ergo going on, ETC, and there's a few other coins out there as well. But now, you know, we got Radiant out there. We got Nexa out there. We got, Ironfish, depending who you look at. We got... what else do we got out there? There's so many coins. Meow coin, I don't think... Was it around last bull run? I don't think so. I don't know. There's so many coins. Kiro, and... Like, look at all these. Sky Doge out there. XNA, you know, all these things. Dynex, you know, how could I forget about Dynex? We got Dynex out there. G-Link. Like, there's so many coins out there that, like, didn't even exist back then. And we don't know what's going to be the best performer. So, you know, line up your bags and... Hopefully everybody wins. Retro Mike, preach the gospel. Well, we all know we just miss ETH. Well, bottom line, yeah, you know, it's really hard to compete with something like the likes of Ethereum, especially after it pumped there. Like, someone brought up a actual thing the other day. Where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Bring this in here. What do we got? Yeah, right here. Look at this. Look at this. So this popped up in my YouTube list just now. I'm depressed now. A single 3070 was earning this. So here's an old live stream. When was this live stream? Open in browser. Does it say when this was? Member. So this was a members only live stream. Streamed 1 year ago, I guess, at whatever time. But look at this. 3070. Look at Flux. Flux was made. Oh, can you guys see that? No, I got to move it over more. Look at this. So Ethereum. $4.44 after power. Flux, $4.19 after power. You know, Conflux, $3.24 after power. Look at these profits on a GPU back then. That was insane. Now we're like, oh, it'll be like this again. No, this is where you got to open up your mind and think a little bit. Ethereum, yes, was very profitable. It had so many GPUs on it. Millions of GPUs are on this. You look at something like Flux right now. Flux has like 20,000 GPUs on it. You put 40, 50,000 GPUs on it, your profitability is in the negative. Well, it's negative right now with like 20,000 3080s on it right now, right? And we had millions of GPUs on Ethereum. I was paying $21 million a day in a bear market. I think at this stage, it was paying around $30 or $40 million a day per 24 hours or something. So it's crazy. But you take all this hash rate that was here and spread across all these coins. Like Flux could be at, say, you know, let's say Flux hits $50. You're like, awesome, Flux at $50. Well, if you took 25%, only 25% of this hash rate that was on here right then, and put it to $50 flux hash rate, you're still probably in the negatives at $50 flux. That's how much hash rate Ethereum had in terms of GPUs. That's how different things are now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Insane to think about. But yeah, anyway. Don't FOMO from what other people say. Yeah, we went through that. This is why I said ETH already showed us the perfect ROI, even in short term, where ASICs are legit long term ROI. Yeah, got in early and hold a bunch until price pump. And interesting. All right, guys. So anyway, we talked about this ASIC. We answered some questions kind of and did some random stuff, but we're going to wrap up this live stream. I do appreciate everyone for showing up for it, and I will see you on the next one. Rabid.